everybody! In this episode, we're going to talk about choosing the right hotel, guest house, hostel. Basically, the same rules apply for whichever level of accommodation you choose to stay in. Traveling can be exhausting, especially if you're doing it for an extended period of time. Not only is it physically exhausting, getting up really early to catch a flight or a bus, traveler's diarrhea, moving around all of the time, it's also mentally draining as well. After all, you're opening up your mind to a whole new world. You're learning about different people, different places, and ultimately, you're learning a lot about yourself. So what I'm trying to say here is when you're traveling, it's nice to have a place to come home to relax at the end of the day. Having a nice, clean, comfortable place to come home to that's not going to break your bank account is important, in my opinion. I spent my fair share of nights in shitholes. Really, there is no other way to describe some of these hostel, hotel, guest houses I've stayed in the past. But hey, it's all part of the adventure, right? Of course. But on the other hand, you don't always have to torture yourself to save $1 or $2. If you're cranky and exhausted, you're not going to enjoy your travels the way you should be. So here are 4 things to keep in mind when looking for a hotel, hostel, or guest house. It's very tempting to stay in the first accommodation you come across when you arrive in a new place, especially if you've been traveling on a hot, sticky bus for countless hours. I would highly recommend taking a look around at a few hostels, hotels, guest houses before settling on a place. This will allow you to get an idea of how much a room should cost in the area you are staying in. You'll also get a feel of the atmosphere of different places and decide which one best suits you. Number 2, don't always follow guidebooks. While the places of accommodation recommended in guidebooks can sometimes be fairly good and cheap, it's not always the best choice. Usually, the places listed are in hot zones. This means you'll be surrounded by other tourists and you could be paying more than you would be paying at a place just down the street. I also like to discover places on my own. You never know, you could find a real gem if you just go out and look. Number 3. Talk to other travelers. A good way to find out about great accommodations is by asking other travelers you meet along the way. Number 4, scope out the place. Make sure that the place is not just clean, but also welcoming and safe too. Check that the windows have bars or locks on them, that the bed is comfortable, that the toilet and shower are working, that there are outlets to plug stuff in, that there is a place to hang a bug net if necessary, and that there is at least one window in the room. I don't know about you, but I don't like feeling like I'm in prison. It's also good to ask about extra services such as wireless internet, laundry, and included meals. Most importantly, make sure you feel comfortable and safe in both your room and surrounding area. I got a secret to tell you. Cheap accommodations can sometimes be the best to stay in. In fact, the best places I have ever stayed in to date have been extremely cheap. In Taormina, Sicily, I stayed in a villa that was built into a cave. It cost 20 euros a night and it was split with 2 other people. So that included 2 bedrooms, an amazing shower, living room, small kitchen, and the best view I've ever had from my bedroom. Another beautiful place I've stayed in was in Ahmed, Bali. It cost 21 Canadian dollars per night, split between 3 people. Now that is a deal. So the next time you are looking for accommodations in a new place, remember you don't have to spend a lot to get something that's beautiful. So now, I want to know from you, what's the one thing you look for when choosing a hotel, hostel, or guest house? Leave your answers in the box below. See you next week!